Our first nominees are Jody and Heather Dolan of Lowe. Jody operates a 150-head cattle operation in Jasper and Smith counties.
We have mainly cow operation, cow calves. We have about 550 acres. We also do a lot of hay baling commercially. We supply a lot of local farmers with hay. We also have a little poultry litter operation where we use about 16 houses to fertilize our pastures and our hay fields. We mainly run crossbred cattle on Charolais bulls. We do use Angus bulls on our heifers. We try to get our calves on the ground around November to December, and we'll wean those cattle in mid-summer. Wing them down, and we'll put them on ryegrass through the fall and try to sell most of our calves straight out as feeder cattle.
Jody is a third-generation farmer who lives and farms on some of the same land his granddaddy did more than 60 years ago.
My grandfather started with 7 boys and 2 mules, and he run cattle. He had some corn and cotton, and my dad picked it up in the mid-70s, and we've improved it since then. We're on 3 cattle farms. We have hay fields scattered all across the county, and we just love being out in the country. If you see somebody driving up, you know they're coming to see you.
Jody says he has made some changes to his hay operation to improve production.
We bale around 2,500 rolls a year. We store all our hay under the barn. It's all fertilized well with chicken litter. We cut on about a 30-day cycle rotation. We mainly Bahia grass and different strands of Bermuda. We have some Tifton, some Alicia. We sell a lot of hay to local small farmers who couldn't afford to buy equipment to bale their own hay. And we also sell a lot of square bales to local horsemen around this community.
He also works with the local poultry growers to clean litter out of their houses and spread it as fertilizer.
We have a truck and a couple tractors, and we do occasionally sell a little litter when it's available, but we use most of our own. It's way more efficient. Without the chicken litter, we wouldn't be in operation right now. We can't afford to buy the commercial fertilizer to put out there and justify fuel and baling for hay. The chicken litter, without fertilizer, you're looking at about a bale to an acre. With chicken litter, we're getting about 3 bales to the acre on hay ground. And with the high fuel cost, you have to have a lot of abundant supply of hay to justify baling it.
Jody has progressed through the County Farm Bureau pretty quickly through the Young Farmers and Ranchers program.
Me and my wife served on the Young Farmer and Ranchers state level. I moved up to president of the Young Farmer and Ranchers in Jasper County. Then I was put on the county board, and now I reside as president of Jasper County Farm Bureau Federation. And we've got a group of men in there they're really interested in putting the youth back into farming. They're trying to get the message out, and I'm 32 years old and the president of the County Farm Bureau. I'm kind of proud of that.
Heather is an auditor at the state auditor's office, and the Dolans have one daughter, Macy, who's 3 months old. Next, we have Jason and Jamie Jones from Brandon. Jason runs a 500-head cow-calf operation in central Mississippi.
I grew up showing cattle through school, had show cows. I went to college. My father had about 100 head of Brahma cattle. Graduated college and bought me a herd of about 40 and just started, fooling around with them a little bit. It kind of grew from there.
Jason says he's on a fall calving season program starting in October and running through December.
I run a different breed than most in the area. I run the F1 cross. For me, I think they wean off a little bigger calf. The life of the cow itself is a little longer. There's just so many different crosses. You can go with different bulls to produce replacement, or if you just wanting to put beef on the calf itself, you got options there. One of the key things with the F1 cross is the markability of selling the replacement heifer.
500 head of cattle can consume a lot of hay, and to help keep the nutritional value of his hay high, Jason has added a new twist to his farm.
The tube line wrapper is the newest equipment addition to our operation. We added it this year. went to using the Haler Drapper to cut out weather issues. We bale a lot of ryegrass hay. We can cut ryegrass and bale it the same day. So takes out the factor of rain. And also the haylage hay, the protein content in it is a lot higher than dry hay. So we got extra value there. If you have to have any kind of volume of hay, I see it helping you because you can put so much more hay up at one time. And you don't have to have sheds. It's wrapped in plastic. It cuts down a lot of your protein costs that you have, initially if you don't feed haylage hay. Protein contents are, between 50 and 20%, where regular hay is, 10%.
Jason has also upgraded his fencing around the farm.
Well, what we've done is gone to a high tensile net wire fence over barbed wire. We've started changing fences out as of about the last 2 years. We like this fence. It's pulled extremely tight. Calves can't crawl through it. It's got a 10-year rust-proof warranty on it. We've had trees fall on it and break the T-post off and cut the ties off, and the wire stands back up. So it's the repair and is a lot easier.
Jamie works at a retail party goods store in Brandon, and the Joneses have 2 children, Lana, who is 5, and Macy, who is 2. Our next nominees are Brent and Shasta Kitchens from Baldwin. Brent runs a diversified row crop farm in northeast Mississippi.
We have 1,300 acres altogether. This year we're running about 650 cotton, 650 soybeans. And this winter we'll throw in some wheat. Usually we throw in about 100 acres of wheat. And normally we'll have corn, but this year we couldn't get around to it. The spring was so wet, we ended up just planting cotton instead.
The farm was started by Brent's grandfather when he returned home from World War II.
He farmed my great-granddaddy, and then he moved out on his own, and we've been doing a lot of the same ground since. It's all our family's ever done. I just love being out here and starting springtime. You can't wait to go, and then you can't wait when harvest time comes. You can't wait to get in there and get in it.
Improved technology and management practices have helped increase the bottom line on the farm. Using some no-till and minimum till, along with adding some grass strips, have helped prevent significant erosion.
When I was young, I was in school, we was running a 6-row planter. Now we're running 2 8-row planters, so we're covering so much ground at a timely pace, we're just covering everything. And then all the other equipment's falling right in with the spray rigs, especially from then till now. We're running 2 high boys with 60-foot booms and just covering so many more acres, and you can do it so timely that you're not getting behind like we would back then trying to cover it with just spray booms.
Brent also takes advantage of the latest research from Mississippi State to enhance his productivity.
In '95, I was still in high school, but I was out here spraying in the summer and everything when the worms just completely wiped us out. We was picking a quarter bale, and if we got lucky, we was picking a half a bale. And with the BT2 technology, everything they've done there, it's just been, it's nothing compared to what it was then in '95. There's no comparison. And with the Roundup Ready Flex, that's the same thing. We had weeds that we couldn't control then, which I know now they got Roundup resistant weeds, but we've been lucky here and haven't had any of that.
Shasta is a dental hygienist in Tupelo, and the couple has 2 children, 7-year-old Trace and Lexi, who is 2. Next we have Billy and Dory Lowe from Monticello. The Lowes run a 4th-generation diversified farm in southwest Mississippi.
I got in it about 9 years ago. I was working at the paper mill and decided to build chicken houses and come home. And I built 4 broiler houses with Sanderson Farms. And we've been in the soybeans and corn for, my daddy's 65 and he's been in it, pretty much all his life. We've grown cotton, and now our big deal is the peanuts. We got in them about 10 years ago. And the green peanuts, we plant around 50 acres And dry peanuts, we have planted up to 1,200 acres.
Billy built 4 poultry houses in 2004 and raises nearly 500,000 birds a year.
I got 2 uncles and a brother-in-law that are raising broilers. And that's kind of the way I got into it. I just kind of followed them into it. We built 4 broiler houses, and they're 44 by 500 houses, solid wall. They hold 24,400 is what they place.
Billy has baled up a lot of hay that he hopes to sell soon, but it's not your normal grass hay.
The soybean straw. We just run a rake. We pull the spinners up on the combine, and we'll run a rake and rake it up and bale it. They say the stalk is about like grass hay, good grass hay, but if you can get the hull into it, it's got a good bit more value than grass hay.
Harvesting 1,100 acres of soybeans gives him a whole lot of straw to bale. He's hoping to get 50 bushels of beans to the acre. But where Billy has found his niche is in the peanut business.
The green peanuts have been real good to us. We plant about 50 acres a year, and we harvest them, run every one of them through that shed and sell them right there. We don't ship anything off. If we sell it leaves that shed right there. People come here and buy them. We've got a green peanut harvester that we basically had made. It's a homemade deal. It was an old man in Alabama that had one, and it was made out of wood and just kind of pieced together, you know. And we went over there and got the design and made our version of it. It's just a 2-row digger. It picks them up, picks the peanuts off of them, spits the vines out the back and puts the peanuts in the buggy all at the same time. We bring them in on a truck and we run them through a drum cleaner, and it washes them, washes the dirt off of them. They come out, they go to a grading table, and we've got 8 or 9 women there picking the culls out, picking the stems off of them, picking the culls out of them. Then they go into a bagger, and it's a scale bagger. They go in there, we weigh them, and then we've got a milk tank, one of these old tanks from a milk farm, a dairy farm, and we keep it at about 45 degrees, and we dump the peanuts in there and chill them to the middle of the bag before we put them in the cooler, and then they're ready to go.
The Lowes have 3 children, 12-year-old Walt, Lane, who is 9, and 3-year-old Ella. Our next nominees are Chip and Mindy Moran from Kiln. Chip manages a livestock and row crop farm in South Mississippi.
I have a cow-calf operation, 500 mama cows. We're actually in a wean pen right now where I have 50 heifers weaned. They're prospects for the board sale. We grow corn silage and bale all and produce all our own hay. We try to grow all most all our feed through haylage and baleage and things like that. I have 240 acres and some pretty big pines, and I have a young plantation coming on about 100 acres.
Chip started raising calves for his dad when he was very young and has been doing it ever since.
I raised all of these heifers. I have 2 different type of herds. I have a Bremer herd, that's my base herd that I raise a lot of replacements out of. This year I went back to a purebred registered Bremer bull to raise some more of the white kind of cattle. I've been running a horn Hereford on them, raising some F1s, and I have run some Angus on them to cross them. I have about 300 calves on the ground right now, and this is some bigger end of the heifers that I wanted to get here where I could feed them up and maybe grow them up to be a little extra special.
Weather always plays a huge part in the success of a farming operation. The day we visited Chip was right after he had received over 20 inches of rain in 2 days. It presented a challenge getting around the farm. As with most everyone who lives near the coast, Hurricane Katrina had a huge effect on his farm.
It was a nasty storm. It created a lot of work in this area. It moved a lot of people in this area that took a lot of this work and moved it back home with them, but it definitely was a change for the economy in South Mississippi. Most all my trees were younger. I had some trees that were ready for a thinning. It thinned them. And all this behind you right there, it just wiped it out. Timber wasn't worth anything at that time. It was all twisted, and mills were full, and they couldn't do anything with it but pile it up and burn it, start over. A lot of my pastures were in timber then, around in this small area.
Mindy is a stay-at-home mom, raising their 2 children, Colin, who is 5, and Colton, who is 18 months. Our next nominees are Nicholas and Corey O'Neill from Greenwood. The O'Neills operate a 1,300-acre row crop farm consisting of cotton, corn, soybeans, and rice.
My granddaddy bought it in 1950, so I'm the 3rd generation farmer here.
When we visited the O'Neill farm, Nicholas was in the middle of rice harvest.
The rice looks real good. We've got not a whole lot left to harvest. We've been working on it all week long. We've enjoyed growing that, and it's something that we've been doing since 1999 when that was one of my first crops to grow for myself, was a rice crop. My daddy let me share 100 acres of rice with him that year, and it's been increasing a little bit ever since.
Nicholas says that this farm has raised soybeans and cotton from the beginning and added rice and corn later. In 2006, they dropped their cotton acreage because of low prices. But this year, it's back.
Glad to see the prices improve enough that we wanted to get back into that. You know, traditionally we're cotton farmers, and I kind of miss not having cotton on the farm, but it's good to see it back here now. We kept all of our equipment, and we upgraded our cotton picker this year. Just had somebody that wanted to buy our old picker, and we bought a little bit newer one. Not a brand new one by any means. We just upgraded a little bit. But we do all our own harvesting on the cotton and the grains.
In 2010, 2 tailwater recovery systems were built to capture runoff from 500 acres. This water is transferred through underground pipes to existing lines used for irrigation. He also uses surface water from a nearby lake. These practices help limit the use of water from the underground aquifer. Marketing practices are an extremely important aspect of the farming operation. Because of the volatile market of commodity and input prices, Nicholas attempts to book inputs prior to the growing season.
I think, planting the seed and making the crop's the easy part, but, buying your inputs right and selling your crop at the right price, that's the hard part. And sometimes you don't know what you're doing, you just gotta go with the gut feeling and hope that everything works out right.
One addition to the farm that has helped enormously are these new grain bins.
I built a new grain bin facility in 2007. And that was a big help, is just logistics of handling the volume of a corn crop, getting it out of the field and into storage. The grain bins were very helpful in that. We've used them every year, and we're going to continue to use them. We're going to have rice, corn, and soybeans, all 3 crops, stored until at least December this year.
Corey is a home health nurse in Greenwood, and the couple has 2 daughters, Mia, who is 7, and 4-year-old Millie. Finally, we have Brad and Carla Spencer from Vardaman. The Spencers have more than 1,600 acres of sweet potatoes, peanuts, soybeans, and watermelons, along with over 50 head of cattle and 3 horses.
Our family farm has been in the business for over 70 years. I'm a 3rd generation farmer on this same land, and we also rent. My grandfather started with 5 acres of potatoes and increased, and now we grow over 500 acres of sweet potatoes, 300 acres of peanuts, and around 800 acres of soybeans. And me and my 2 kids, Hunter and Justin, we run 50 head of cattle.
The sandy soil of Calhoun County is perfect for growing sweet potatoes, and Brad's the kind of innovator to use any advantage he can get. By changing some of his practices in cultivation, spraying, and plowing, he has improved his yields.
This year, it's looking a lot better. We're filling up boxes for sweet potatoes And the beans look to be about 35, 45 bushel acres on dry land. And the peanuts look to be about 2 tons, hopefully 3 tons per acre. Maybe we'll pay back some of that debt we acquired in '09. The challenges these days is pretty hard. We went from growing a couple thousand acres to around 20,000 acres just as a farming community. And these potatoes are not shipped just around here, you know, just up down state. They're shipped from the East Coast to West Coast to Canada to overseas.
One of the newest marketing angles is selling potatoes for sweet potato French fries.
Well, this year they ought to not have any trouble with French fries, because we got some whoppers this year. Well, we got some big potatoes. Well, the new plant coming in down there at ConAgra, it's helped on the French fry issue, but it still could be better. I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Another innovation he's working on is taking sweet potatoes and turning them into ethanol. He's been working with a company from out of state trying to grow the largest potato possible. The trials showed that it was not only successful at making fuel, but also created a byproduct that can be used in livestock feed, providing them a great deal of protein. Now that the boys are old enough to be in school, Carla has gone back to work as a full-time teacher in the local school district.
Getting my kids involved with agriculture, we started our little cattle operation with 5 head, and we increased to 10. And here recently, with it dried out in Texas, we had a chance to capitalize on it, so we're up to 50 head now. So not bad for 11-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 33-year-old. Which my oldest son, he can actually feed. I've taught him how to drive a bobcat, so he can feed now. That helps out a lot. And my little one, he's a gate man, and he ain't too happy about that.
The Spencers' oldest son, Hunter, is 11, and their youngest son, Justin, the gate man, is 8.
At this time, your 2011 Mississippi Farm Bureau Young Farmer and Rancher Achievement Award winner is, you got it,
Brad and Carla Spencer.
Congratulations, Brent. Thank you. Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you very much. Finally got here. Well, I wasn't prepared for this, but aloha. Oh, thank you to the sponsors, everybody. Thank you for the Young Farmer Rancher Committee that has, me and Carla are both, we've been on this Young Farmer Rancher Committee before, and as you've seen today, on some of these, like last night and today, they have put me on a commercial. So once you get up here and you start dealing with Young Farmer Ranchers, boy, they put you in the spot. But I would like to say thank you to everybody involved. Thank you, Lord, for this. My prayers have been answered. You saying that? You know better. But well, thank you. Thank you, Farm Bureau, for everything y'all done.
Well, I want to commend all the participants in the discussion meet and the Achievement Award contest. They're quality young people, and like I said before, the future's bright. And I really want to thank the sponsors of both these events. You know, you hear a lot about Mississippi being last at things. Well, let me tell you something. We're first in the sponsor involvement, the prizes, and all the things that go along with these contests. I guarantee you, we do better than any other state that I know of, and we're really blessed and we're really thankful for that. So thank y'all a lot, and let's give them a hand.